is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and in order to become aware, we need to be educated, because so often with domestic violence, these women and sometimes men are taught to never talk or never share what's going on behind closed doors. So educating us today and sharing a very tragic story with us. Nancy Marion, you are the Executive Director of a transitional housing house of refuge.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And Debbie Ellis, thank you so much for joining us today. I know it can't be easy for you. You just lost your stepson to domestic violence this past February, so thanks for joining us. So this was your stepson and his mother were killed by the stepfather.
Yes.
Wow. Did you have any idea this was going on in the home?
We had one incident about a year prior that Christopher had called us and said that his stepfather had made a threat against his mother, and she had temporarily moved out. Soon after that, they had gotten back together, things were fine, and then the next call we received was the morning of February 19th from the Sheriff's Department saying that our son had been murdered and his mother had been murdered.
Okay. Wow. Is this typical when the woman decides to leave? Is she at most risk at that point?
Absolutely. A lot of domestic violence is about control. If the perpetrator feels that they're losing control, oftentimes they'll go to unusual measures in order to maintain that.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm looking at this picture of Michelle and Rick here on the screen, and he looks, I mean, I hate to say the word normal, but they look like such a happy, normal couple. Mm-hmm. I think we don't often think it could be happening in that particular home.
And that was even for our family. It was the man that you would see pictures of him hugging his kids, camping, fishing, family outings. You can only imagine the surprise for us when you get the call and you hear that your son is dead and he's been killed by a stepfather, and it's the man that you believe is the wonderful stepdad.
Mm-hmm. And on that particular day, Michelle and her son Christopher had been out looking at apartments.
Yes.
She had a plan. She was leaving.
She had a plan. She was leaving.
But for her, she did public speaking engagements where she taught people to gain strength and be independent women.
Very strong woman, and an amazing profession that she would speak out and teach women to be strong and not frail at all, but probably very much at risk that what would other people think, mm-hmm. because we do believe that this would be women that have to stay there because they don't have a choice, and she did have a choice, but her plan wasn't in a timely fashion.
Right, exactly. And you know, I think the most astounding thing for me when I hear the statistics about domestic violence is 1 in 4 women are being abused or have been abused at some point in their life. So here's 3 of us. Let's just add my co-host Lisa, and chances are, on average, 1 out of 4. How can we look for signs or symptoms among our coworkers, among our friends, among our family members, Nancy?
I think there's 2 things we can do is begin to trust people and build relationships so that you have those people that you can share with, so that you don't feel like it's my fault. If I hadn't have done this, you have those relationships that you can share with. The other thing is the Arizona Coalition Against Domestic Violence has a lethality survey that you can take that can kind of help you come out of the fog and realize if you're talking about yourself, this really is me, this really could define me and my family, and I need to be thinking about this in a clear fashion, mm-hmm. and I need to be making plans as to how I need to take care of this situation before you get into a problem like Christopher and Michelle did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And had Michelle found the House of Refuge, what would that look like? How would she have gone about becoming an inhabitant at the House of Refuge?
Right now, we work off of a waiting list of about 90 days. And the reason we have that 90-day waiting list is because, first, Michelle would need to have gone into a shelter, moved in with family, somewhere where she could be safe, where she would have support. While we're moving people up that waiting list and into our housing, we can be helping them get all the information that they need to in order to get into our housing. As soon as we can open a house for them, we will move them in. Once they're with us, they can stay for 24 months. That gives us time to get them back on their feet, to help them realize realize that the layers of deception that the perpetrator had laid down in their mind aren't necessarily correct, and can help. We can help them with proper decision making
because they've been brainwashed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I've had women that they will talk to my shoes because they can't raise their head up and look me in the face. But as they heal, they will begin to lift their head and they will speak to you face to face. And that's a great sign.
And what a great thing too is I walked through and I toured a domestic violence center last week. I noticed the children. They were so happy. They were skipping, and my heart just was so happy for them because I thought, you know, they can be children where they've been living in chaos in their homes where they couldn't be children. How old, up to what age do you take the children?
We take all children.
You do?
I can't imagine a mother in that kind of a situation trying to leave and decide which child you're going to take and which child you're going to leave behind. So we take all children.
Great. Debbie, you have put together Christopher's Run. Tell us about that.
So Christopher's Run is a motorcycle run that'll begin and end at Chester's Harley-Davidson on October 15th, Saturday, October 15th, to raise money for House of Refuge. It'll be for people that have motorcycles, cars, or don't want to go on the run at all. It'll begin at 8:30 on Saturday. And what they'll do is they'll go across the valley, and they'll stop at 5 different locations, ending at 1 o'clock at Chester's, beginning there then with a party that starts. It's like a barbecue and a band from 1 to 5 there, and they'll have 50-50 raffles, silent auction, people just gathering there for the cause. And then we'll get together there to do some different fundraiser and just, I guess, getting together to celebrate.
The Arizona Coalition Against Domestic Violence will have their silent witness display there, as well as information on symptoms, signs, what to do. Oftentimes people don't know how to help somebody else, much less themselves.
Exactly.
And so this will give them some information on that.
Thank you both so much for sharing this, and thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for sharing about the House of Refuge. October 15th is the Christopher's Run. If you're interested in taking place, you can certainly go to our website and find out more information about that. We'll be right back after the break.